The Wizard Roadshow visits the Mars block colony domes, tunnels, radiation shields, and the architecture of human survival on Mars. God bless. The Wizard Roadshow crew assembled just after dusk. The sanctuary hummed softly with equipment, holographic projectors, quantum resonance interfaces, AI synchronization modules, timeline stabilizers held together partly by engineering and partly by optimism. Coffee cups were everywhere. Naturally, the Wizard stood before the resonance mirror device while the crew prepared for another jump through the time-space continuum. Tonight's destination: Mars, year 2088, the Mars block colony complex. The Wizard smiled. All right everybody, let's go inspect the future. The transition, the room shimmered. Light folded inward. The familiar sensation of pressure and expansion passed through the crew as the interface synchronized with the target node. For a brief moment everyone experienced overlapping sounds, strange gravity sensations, flashes of red landscapes, distant machinery, and the smell of dust and ozone. Then suddenly, they arrived. First sight of the colony, Mars stretched beneath a pale orange sky. Dust moved slowly across the horizon. In the distance stood the colony. Not tiny. Not fragile. Alive. The Wizard stared proudly as enormous structures rose from the Martian landscape using the very Mars block concepts first imagined decades earlier. Domes. Quonset-style habitats. Buried tunnel systems. Thermal towers. Solar fields. Subsurface greenhouses. The dream had become architecture. The foreman, a large rugged man wearing a dust-coated engineering suit, approached the group. Calm eyes. Practical demeanor. The type of person who solved impossible problems before breakfast. He removed his helmet and smiled. Welcome to Colony Sector 3. I'm Foreman Alvarez. We've been expecting the roadshow crew. The Wizard grinned. Excellent. Hopefully nobody exploded anything important before we arrived. Alvarez nodded seriously. Only twice this month. The crew immediately liked him. The Mars blocks. The foreman led them toward the main construction yard where automated systems assembled massive interlocking blocks. The blocks resembled a hybrid of stone, ceramic, foam insulation, and structural honeycomb geometry. Alvarez explained. The outer shell uses compressed Martian regolith fused with sulfur-based geopolymer chemistry. Internal cavities provide insulation, thermal regulation, and radiation attenuation. The Wizard's eyes widened. So the walls themselves are multifunctional systems? Exactly, Alvarez answered. Every structure here performs several jobs simultaneously. The curved geometry. One assistant noticed the slight angles built into the blocks. The Wizard smiled knowingly. Years earlier he had proposed slight curvature and interlocking angle systems. Alvarez nodded proudly. That concept turned out critical. Straight structures crack under long thermal cycling. The curved geometry distributes stress naturally. The Wizard quietly whispered, "Well, I'll be darned. The old sketch actually worked." Radiation protection. The crew entered a partially buried habitat tunnel. Immediately the temperature stabilized comfortably. Alvarez pointed upward. The domes and Quonset shells are covered by layered regolith berms. Radiation protection comes from soil mass, water channels, hydrogen-rich materials, and thermal gel pockets integrated into the walls. One assistant asked, "How much radiation reduction?" Alvarez answered, "Approximately Earth-equivalent exposure inside residential sectors." The crew exchanged impressed looks. The tunnel systems. The underground tunnel network fascinated the Wizard most. Long curved corridors connected. Residences, labs, hydroponics, medical facilities, machine shops, recreation areas. The tunnels maintained stable temperatures, reduced pressure, stress, radiation shielding, efficient air circulation, and importantly, psychological comfort. The emotional engineering. Alvarez surprised everyone by saying, early colonies failed because engineers designed for survival but ignored emotional health. The wizard nodded immediately. Nervous system architecture. Exactly, Alvarez replied. Humans need open spaces, gardens, soft lighting, privacy, beauty, community gathering points. Or the colony destabilizes psychologically. The wizard nearly applauded. The thermal chimneys outside. The crew observed towering black structures rising from the colony. The wizard recognized them instantly. Thermal chimneys. Alvarez smiled proudly. Earth almost regulated this technology into extinction. Mars made it essential. The chimneys, heated naturally through solar absorption, created airflow circulation, assisted cooling systems, reduced mechanical energy requirements dramatically. Combined with underground Earth tube-style channels adapted for Martian conditions, the colony achieved extraordinary thermal efficiency. The energy systems. The wizard asked the question everyone wanted answered. So where's the power really coming from? Alvarez grinned. Everything. He explained. The layered system, solar arrays, thermal storage, hydrogen production, methane synthesis, underground heat differentials, kinetic recovery systems, emergency compact reactors. Nothing depended on a single source. Redundancy equaled survival. The Quonset structures. The Quonset-style buildings turned out ideal for Mars. Their curved forms resisted dust storms, distributed pressure loads, minimized material stress, simplified construction, allowed modular expansion inside. However, they looked surprisingly warm and human. Wood textures, soft lighting, plants, art, music, children's drawings. The wizard smiled deeply. Humanity had brought beauty to Mars after all. The unexpected discovery. One assistant asked, what was the biggest engineering breakthrough? Alvarez answered immediately, not the blocks. Not the domes. Not the energy systems. Cooperation. Silence settled over the group. The final walkthrough. As sunset dimmed across the red horizon, the colony lights began glowing softly beneath the domes. The wizard stood quietly overlooking the settlement. What once existed only as sketches, dreams, speculative conversations, impossible ideas now stood physically across another world. The crew became emotional. Not because humanity conquered Mars, but because humanity had learned to survive there gently. Final entry. Back aboard the resonance platform before returning home, the wizard opened his notebook and wrote, "The Mars colony succeeded because every system served more than one purpose." Then added, "The buildings did not merely shelter life, they stabilized life." And finally, perhaps the future of civilization, on Earth or Mars, depends not on building bigger structures, but wiser ones. God bless. Global Robotics Corporation. Robert Colee.